Well, all protocols observed. I mean, I was wondering, sitting here in this actually fairly warm room, if all had not been said today. And I would say there are 4 takeaways. One of them is anyone who dares to turn up to the next conference without having acted, financed, changed, delivered on results, I think should consider that their CO2 emission is not worth the trip. So be careful what you promise, what you commit to, because you need to commit, you need to act, you need to deliver. Secondly, in listening to all these conversations, all dots connect. A lot of the conversation here has been about adaptation, but the link to finance is a critical and real one. And financing, for me, is not traditional ODA. That's a given. Yes, increase in grants is necessary, but we need to, as developed countries, as bigger shareholders, we need to rechannel the SDRs. We need to look at debt relief. We need to look at the sensitivity of debt relief. When investments are made, we need to balance that out. We need to consider a lot of the important elements of the Bridgetown Initiative. This is not a free ride. This is a compact that needs to accompany adaptation and mitigation. Without it, I don't think we can see meaningful progress. And again, we'll speak to each other again next year, but perhaps with a slightly greater level of frustration and an even greater sense of urgency, because we've lost 1 more year, which a lot of countries do not have. Madagascar, a very strong case in point. Comor, all the other countries that President Macky Sall, in addition to his own country, mentioned. Last but not least, the common framework. There's a serious set of proposals out there. Shareholders need to act. This is not a case only for African countries or highly indebted countries. We need to be interested to have a credible, reformed MDB. Collective action clauses are essential. Climate resilient debt clauses are very important to have. And of course, local currency financing. I'm mentioning the last one because we've helped initiate this as the Netherlands to help countries avoid borrowing against highly expensive, interest rate prone hikes, foreign currencies. Do it in your own currency. Build your own economy. Ultimately, adaptation is all about national ownership and accountability, and with accountability we also look towards governance. That's a triangle where the member states and governments that seek support for adaptation in their covenant will also need to be mindful of. Western and developed countries, endowed countries, the big emitters, the big polluters, we have a duty of care, and therefore we need to push the debate on carbon pricing and taxation, because it's all about production and consumption and behavior change. Without that, our collective will fail, and as has been said in the corona crisis, we are as strong as the weakest link. And the weakest link may not be in the port of Rotterdam, but we need to care from the vantage point of a Western industrialized country, from a global responsibility for a shared humanity, about the weakest link, which is all of us. So a lot of pointers, a lot of finance. It's my hat of finance. And last but not least, there is a coalition of ministers of finance. A lot of African countries are there, but I urge all African countries who are not yet a member to join the coalition of finance ministers. This is where we'll push the agenda even forward and really connect all the dots. Adaptation without finance, mitigation without serious finance is just not a credible conversation. Thank you very much.